Bada bum 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 ba-dum.
Woo! Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Pocket Change, episode 85. Only four more, and hopefully, we have a guest.
Hopefully.
Working on
Who we got? Bigfoot?
that? Yeah, Bigfoot. Yeah, we'll have
Y'all don't
Brad,
know,
but he's invisible, like in the Deadpool movie.
y'all don't know this, but Bigfoot was an avid eBay reseller.
Yes. Not into shoes, though.
Nah, he's not into shoes. Anyway, welcome to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. We are glad you're with us this morning, at noon, this afternoon, or this evening, or, well, good night. Because if you're watching us after the evening time, you probably need some sleep. But we'll try our best to make you not fall asleep while we're doing this. But we've got a lot of things to talk to you about during this show that we got jam packed. I think we made out a list last time to try to keep ourselves on track. I don't know how that worked. Did that work decently when you started editing it down there, Vince?
Yeah, except you kept going off the list. We're going to do this and that. And then you're like, hey, what about that?
Well,
No, we haven't got to do it yet.
you're the list keeper, so you got to keep that intact. And you
Yeah, I
got
tried. It's like hoarding puppies in a box, man. It's not working.
puppies in a box. Well, while we're doing this, I'm going to have to sign in and look up my pitiful results for this past week. I don't know. It just seemed this past week was a kind of a down week and down for a lot of folks. But that happens every now and again. We know we're in an election year, and we know that it's also the beginning of the fourth quarter where everybody's starting to save their money for the holidays.
Yes.
Hey, I'm up to 63 feedback. Awesome. Random thoughts. Let's go to performance sales. I forgot to look this up, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely
Yeah,
humbly
yeah, you got to come
apologize.
prepared, man.
It takes me so long to get everything. What is it? Last week was the 13th, so we're going 13th through the 19th.
Yes.
Yep. Generate report. All right. Wow. That's awesome. Worst week I've had in a while, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and talk about mine because I know yours was better since I'm already doing it. So last week, ladies and gentlemen, I literally am down 83.3% versus the prior time period. Sold a whopping $30.17 worth
Woo!
on one item. So guess what my average sales price is for the week? Uh,
$30.17.
yep. So that's basically, it does look like it was a one time buyer, which again is down. It did come out of my of the top categories collectibles, Harley Davidson. So that was a brand new category for me. So I'm glad I sold one thing there. I thought I had done better than this. I don't know. But anyway, that was great. It looks like my net sales on it was a whopping $16.74. Of course, that's really good considering that I had it priced at $14.99. I don't know.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't. I didn't, ladies and gentlemen. I had it priced at $22.99. I just went to see business say yes.
That's a way to do it.
But it did come off a promoted item. Having to promote a lot more these days, having to promote a lot more and promote a higher percentage. But yeah, it is what it is. So that was my week. Pretty terrible. Of course, now as it was a good bad week to start with, and as it got towards Wednesday, I began to say I got some things I need to get done other than listing. So the week didn't get any better because guess what I didn't do? And I'll freely admit it, I did not list past Thursday. So Thursday was the last day I listed, and but I'll be back listing tomorrow, and then trying to get a lot that I've got knocked out so I can move on to the next lot. That's my plans. But so, how was your week? I know Ben's was complaining about his week as well. And then I had to tell him that he could take a long walk off a short pier because his bad week was much, much better than mine. In fact, his bad weeks are better than my great weeks, but we won't count anything here. So how was? Tell us about your performance. Now your time went there, Ben. What?
My week was stellar. No, I only had 19 sales this week. So I went from 55, 30 last week, and I'm down to 19. So not a great week. I have been listing. I've been doing all the right things. But my average sale price was 53.81. So I went from like $20 to 53.81. Ended up with $1,022.31 in sales. So
So not a terrible week.
not
Just didn't have as many items for sale, so sold a bunch of bigger items.
right. So I sold bigger items, so less money, and ended up with $620 to put in my pocket. $200 less than last week, but I sold 1,400. So I'm very happy with the $620. Right. So not my goal, but can't complain.
Especially not on a bad. Honestly, Liz,
I definitely was throttled. My views are really low. I had one day where I only sold $22. That day depressed me. But other days were good.
that was better than my days of zero. Let's look at our what is it? Our traffic. Let's
Yeah,
talk about our traffic a little bit while we're talking about this. I had 200 and let's see, 292,000. No, wait, no.
that's for the month.
I had. Let me change the date on it. Let's do custom because I know what. Okay, so start. We're going to start it on 10/13/2024. We're going to go over here. I'm having to look around my camera. Please enter a valid start date. What? I did.
Just do past 7 days. Performance traffic past 7 days.
Yeah, so I had 171,172 impressions for the week. Now, interesting enough, ladies and gentlemen, that was 171,172, but that was actually up 63% versus the prior week. This is crazy. So, over a 50% rise in impressions, 9% more page views, 12% more click throughs, and yet my sales were down 83.3%. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I just have a bunch of junk. Pack it all up, take it all to Goodwill, be done with it, start new, right?
There you go. I took a load to Goodwill this week. Christmas trees.
Christmas trees.
Yeah. I bought them. I was going to make Christmas trees. They've been taking up a big amount of space. It was a carload, completely full SUV. Yeah, 6 Christmas trees gone.
So you decided you weren't going to make the wreaths after all.
Yeah, it's been 2 years and a half. I only made one for my door because my wife lost her wreath that she thought I threw out, and then we got into a big old huff. I'm like, fine, I'll make a wreath. Made a better wreath than one she had, and then her sister was here for Christmas.
Yeah.
She was like, "Why is there a wreath on top of the wine fridge?" So apparently, last year after she took out the door, she put it on the wine fridge, didn't put it in the garage, so I didn't lose it, like I said I didn't.
What's our next category? We're not chasing that rabbit. No,
No,
sirree. You're
I
not.
know my traffic for the week was 661,000, down 15% over prior period time. Page views was 1,538, 19 quantity sold. Organic impressions
So you were
were,
throttled down. You were definitely throttled down because of the
yeah,
hurricane. And that's going to happen, ladies. That's just the way it works. I don't know. I wasn't throttled down. Apparently, I was performing a whole lot better. I just couldn't make the sell. Couldn't get it to the end,
couldn't perform.
close the deal. Couldn't get it in the hole. Whatever else you want to say. Adam Sandler yelling at that golf ball.
Yeah.
That's a Happy Gilmore reference for you young bucks watching or listening.
I think everybody's seen it, even the young ones.
I don't know. I don't know if they have. I don't know if my son's ever seen it. But anyway, it's a great movie. Yeah, so you were down. You were throttled down. I was performing better, but I just couldn't. I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and check my prices and stuff. I know I got some really low ball. I got one low ball offer. That dumb guy that gave me $1 on everything decided to visit again. And if he's watching, I hope I think you're stupid, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to sell anything for 90% off. That's not going to happen. You can quit with your offers. But he only offered on one time this time, and I counter offered with the exact same amount it was listed as, and then blocked his butt because I'm tired of dealing with him. He actually lives within 30 miles of me. So I hope I don't run into a guy with that same name, or I'm going to be like, really? But
Be funny if you run into a guy with the same name, but it's not the same guy, and you get all in his face. That'd be fun.
I wouldn't until I asked some questions. So, do you on eBay by chance?
Do you want me to give you $1 for it?
I mean, I just don't understand who thinks they're going to get some. I guess some people are so desperate to sell something that they'll take stuff for 90% off. I don't know who does that. I've not had any luck. I've tried that. I tried it one time and got a message back, get lost. That's what I got. I just thought it'd be funny. It said best offer, and I was like, well, okay, fine. I'll make an offer. Here's $1. Actually, I did more than that, but I still did 90% off. It didn't work for me. So I don't know. I guess some people just will do it. I don't know.
My week, it was good in sales. I worked in the garage, cleaned it up, been spending days out there. It's still a disaster, but I'm starting to bring it around. Getting it set up to start selling artwork. I got some racks I put on top of my racking. It was like metal bars that I can slide the artwork in. And I got 9 pieces of artwork in one section, and I can do the big ones.
Sweet.
The other ones, the
Sweet.
smaller stuff, I've got some long boxes that I've been putting them in and on the shelf. So I listed 15 pieces of artwork yesterday. I took pictures of 9 today, and they're big, up to 40 inches. So I'm going to try selling this big artwork I've been buying. Last night when I was listing the small ones, I'm like, I got to sell these big ones. So I went on and I was like, I watched a video, excuse me, from the Cha-Ching King, and he's buy your boxes at Home Depot because they always have them in stock and they come with foam and all that and the other. Like, so I went and looked. No, no, I'm not paying $37 for a box. That's crazy.
Good Lord.
And I was like, I'll list it, and if I sell it, then I'll just buy one of those boxes. But then you have to not. You figure put in the taxes, you're at $40 just for the box. So I went on
Yeah.
Amazon and I bought $180 for the boxes. So they're coming in. They'll be in here Monday.
I love your new logo, by the way.
My new logo?
Yeah, it looks
Yes.
like
My new banner?
yeah, the
Yeah.
new banner looks great.
Yeah. Promoting the podcast on there. Come watch our podcast. I got the boxes coming, so I'm taking the pictures of the big ones. I took my handling time for the everything's in one day, except for my artwork. I made its own little 3 days, and I made its own shipping policy. So it gives me 3 days in case I have to pack it or if I don't have the box in time. And I'm not going to do free returns on that. I'm going to do returns, but I took out free returns because you get a box that's $50 to ship for $100 piece. I'm not going to pay $50 to get it back. They're going to pay me to take it back. So that's what
Yeah,
I've been doing.
I don't
And
blame you
then
one bit.
Mike's in Vegas, and he hit his first meetup Thursday. He had a great time. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Maybe it's whiskey and Crystal Light. Not a good combination.
Might be.
So every day he's been giving me the updates of what they're doing, and I've been vicariously living through him because I really wanted to go to that meetup, but I haven't gotten a job yet, so I didn't want to spend the money to do that. I spent that money on my damn cat.
I wasn't going to say it,
But
but
that's my week. Mike, when you're listening, keep the text coming. I know you're going to stay there. You're like there for another week, so
hey,
I'm
as
here.
soon as he gets back, maybe we should have him on for episode 89 so he can talk about it. Because you and I both want to go to some of these meetups, but I didn't have the time off because I ended up having to take some PTO time to help with disaster relief. And then you got PTO because you've got any time off you want.
I got all the time in the
It's
world,
just,
baby.
it's just not paid. And I know that, and I know you're not quite where you want to be with sales yet. If you had hit where you wanted to be, you probably still would have gone. But maybe we should invite now. Did Alex end up going or no?
I don't think I don't know. I don't think Alex went, but Chris from the Reselling Locker Room podcast, he was there, and a bunch of other people that live out there. I know Carrie and Dawn from the Trash to Cash. They went to his meetup, and Soda City Flips I think was there. A couple different ones, a bunch of them.
Maybe we
So I told him, hey, do me a favor while you're there, all these resellers, find me somebody to get on my show. And he said, yeah, he said, okay, I'll look into it since he is the liaison for the pocket show.
we could do one if they're going to be there for another week. We could try to do one where we get them all, get a bunch of them in one room.
He's going to be there. He's moving from place to place. I think he's going to stay around for another week. They're going to do a whatnot sale because he bought so much stuff he can't ship at home. So
Okay,
I don't have the details on that, or I'd put that out here. But I'm definitely going to check out his whatnot. And I think he's going to do a dude show too. So that'd be cool.
sweet.
I'll definitely tune. Man, I've been in that garage all day around dust.
I think it might be that Crystal Light. I think,
It might be. Oh,
yeah, that's why you need to drink bananas.
yeah. Bananas. It is bananas. It's strawberry banana.
This is
Kiwi and
straight
whiskey
up
because I couldn't
Diet
find the
Mountain
boat.
Dew, Diet
Yeah.
Mountain Dew, ice, and a little bit of drink, just enough to take the edge off.
All right. So that's our weeks. Anything else about your week?
No, I pretty much summed it up. Mine, I one sale was all I got. Yay!
So then your buyer of the week is going to be pretty simple.
You're right. My buyer of the week is going to be absolutely simple. You want me to kick that off? I'll make it real easy. All right, so my buyer of the week, let's go over here to my. Sorry, I was already looking at your items, but I will go over here since that's the next thing. Let's talk about my buyer of the week. My buyer of the week was RI dash 867 no RI dash 86905. Great guy, wonderful buyer. Can't say enough about him. He's not gotten his item yet. It has been shipped. It's currently, according to U.S. Postal Service, in transit to its next facility on time. I'm racing the clock to see if I or somebody else will be his first feedback. I might get to pop his feedback chair.
You can just go ahead and put it in there.
No, no, no. I don't do that. If he don't leave me any, I don't leave him any. That's just the way it works. I
Well,
wait. Mine is
stingy with
set for auto feedback when they post feedback to me. I don't give feedback anymore if you don't post for Joel. I just don't do it. Not gonna happen. Did it for a long time. I'd wait and I'd go in, I'd do it, and then they never would. Nah, I don't do it now. I ask you, and if you give me feedback, I'll give you feedback. But I'm not gonna waste my time just throwing out random feedback for people. Not happening.
all right.
Kind of the way I feel. But yes, that's my buyer of the week. Wonderful person. If you see them in your list, can't say enough good about them. They bought my one item of the week. Who's your buyer of the week?
My buyer of the week is Timmy this and that.
Tim,
Timmy's this and that. T
Tim,
I M F
this
Y
and
S
that.
T
Okay.
H A N D T H A T. He has a store. It's Timmy's Treasures. He sells like all. He bought uh,
Thanks, Timmy.
a 1956 Ford Thunderbird hardtop Wix
Mm,
red dye.
one of your die casts. Gotcha.
He left me feedback. He says, "Sorry it took so long to respond. Hurricane Milton flooded my house. Received the item in the condition as described. Would not hesitate to buy from the seller again." So he even put feedback in after his house got flooded. So he's a good guy,
What
right?
a what an
So
awesome buyer.
yeah,
What's his handle again?
Timmy, Timmys, this and that.
Timmy, this and that. Wow. So he must be in Florida with you,
Yeah.
south of you. He's not the one
Mhm.
south of you that the thing went to Wisconsin and came back, is it?
No, no, that was somebody. That was Miami. That was a guy buying something else.
We feel sorry that your house got flooded, Timmy. We appreciate our Timmy's this and that. I assume your first name's Timmy. Maybe you should send him a note, tell him to watch the podcast there, Ben. So he might need
Yeah.
something to do while he's waiting for everything to get repaired. But definitely, what a great buyer, especially since he could have just said, I really don't have the time or feel like it. And that would
Yeah.
have been
Exactly.
certainly understandable. That would have been understandable. Wow. Awesome.
All right. So the next thing on the list is tell me about it. Some look at my store and tell me, ask me a question.
P. Buckley Moss arm in arm.
The painting?
It is. It's a print. Because I recognize the name P. Buckley Moss, but I don't know where from. I don't. That's not the one I recognize by this artist.
Oh, hold on.
Do you need the item number? You got so many.
No, I just was in the wrong thing. You didn't even pick one of my new artworks.
I liked some of your new ones, but this one here seemed to catch my eye a little bit more.
Yeah. P. Buckley Moss is, I've been selling a lot. I sold a lot of her artwork. I got a deal thrift store. They were doing all their artwork 90% off, and they had a bunch of this P. Buckley Moss stuff in there. I think I'm down to this, the last one. I think I had 12 of them. So, what I can tell you about this one is it's not the most popular. That's for sure. Um,
It's not the most popular.
there was one that was like a seed that had a seed sack, and somebody, a lady bought it because the name on the seed sack was where her father worked for 60 years. And she saw it on there. Not because of P.
Wow,
Buckley Moss, bought it because of the seed sack. And then the other one sold fairly quickly. This one's still hanging out.
that many. It looks like there was quite a few printed of that one.
Yeah, there was 6,259 of them. It's 1,276. So there's 6,000. That's fairly rare.
Considering that maybe not all of them. This is from 1988, and she's not the most famous artist in the world, although she is a
She is,
famous.
yeah,
She's
she does like Amish art. Hey, this Furby. He is a specialty of 500,000. That doesn't seem rare at all. I don't know why they put that on there. If you're going to make 500,000 something,
that's true. That is true. I'm more interested. I like the P. Buckley Moss. I'm more interested in this 1964 vintage car print Mercer 1913.
yeah,
That was one of
those are
the
pretty cool. I got two different car ones that I listed. So um, it's like an art print, and then there's a whole slew of different ones that are all the same. We're all done. It's a very similar time. I've got two of them.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right.
Again, I don't trying to look at the stuff when I'm buying it. I had a really nice print that was worth. It's an Orient. I don't know if you can say that. It is Asian, but it had slipped, so it had fallen down, and I shook it around. I couldn't get it back, so I took the whole thing apart. Yeah, that was a freaking nightmare. Spent like an hour fixing that thing.
I will say this back to the P. Buckley Moss. This is not one of the most famous artists, but they are famous, and she is famous in art circles. And
Yes.
I actually have one of hers I've not listed. And the reason I bought it is because a lot of people who actually collect art really like her artwork. It's simplistic, it's usually not overly fancy, and it works well in. I think what I read on it was her artwork tends to work well in what they consider calm areas, office waiting rooms, den areas, those kind of cigar rooms, the kind of
Hmm.
rooms that you want. You don't want all the vibrant colors. Like I do a lot of selling Kincaids. I know he would be considered too vibrant for a den area or a waiting room because he uses all the vibrant colors. And she is more of a calming artist. So just a tidbit to pass on for all you guys and gals and everyone listening, that so that you can recognize that when you're out walking around, you see something by P. Buckley Moss because
They
you
sell really well. That one
yeah.
has. I bought 12 of them, and I have one left. Now that one's small, and it's got a big frame.
Hmm.
All the other ones were full paintings. That one,
You
just
might
because.
be. Is that one? What's the back look like on that one? Because you might be better off reframing that one. To be honest with you,
Yeah, a smaller frame.
what is the?
Maybe that's why it's not selling.
Yeah, it's got the paperback. You could
I don't know.
easily.
One a day. That's enough.
It's not professionally framed. I can tell, or it had the professional sticker on the back of it. So you could take it out of that. What I'm saying is, it's not acid framed.
Okay. I usually get do. I think if I dropped some acid, I probably could have framed it. I probably would have been better with that frame I was messing with today. I agree.
Crazy man. That's not what we're talking about. Anyway, acid proof frame usually has a sticker on the back, or if it's been professionally framed, it'll have a sticker on the back telling you what kind of framing they've done, that kind of thing. And that one's been done by decent because it's got the paper glued on the back.
Yeah.
It may have been framed in her gallery. I don't know. It doesn't say though, and so that's the thing.
I think most of the other ones too on the back there was like write ups and stuff. That one was plain.
Yep. Of course, you may cut it open. There's another thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on to you, ladies and gentlemen. If Hobby Lobby or Michaels framed your painting or framed a painting, they'll have a sticker on the back. If they framed a painting that you have and you're thinking maybe it's not worth anything because it doesn't have a COA, it's worth it to take a sharp knife and make a small slit in the back, something you can repair if you need to. But more than likely, it's very indicative that because Hobby Lobby used to do this all the time, so did Michaels, they would slip the COAs into the back and frame it with the painting. But then they would glue the paper on the back with the COA, guess where? Behind the painting.
Yeah.
Which, working in insurance, that's the dumbest thing you can do because guess what you need to prove the value of that painting if your house burns down? So, but they used to do that all through the 90s. They did that. In the early 2000s, they did that. And it's absolutely asinine they did that. But if you've got one that says framed by Michaels on the back or Hobby Lobby or anything like that, and you don't have the COA, it may be in the back of the painting. Just letting you know. So if you're out there looking around and you're like, oh, this one doesn't have the CEO or COA, it
CEO.
doesn't have the COA, so you can buy it maybe for a little cheaper, and then slit the back a little bit so you can repair it. Just let gaze in there and see. And don't go hog wild and just be like,
All right. So I was looking around your store and
what have
I
I
had
got that's
found
interesting?
you have Howard Burgess Winter Rest Litho Plate number 3. Rare find.
That
Frame.
actually is, yeah. And the problem is the reason that's a rare one. Let me go find that one right quick. Got to go to my store. Oh, this eBay absolutely hates me, ladies and gentlemen, because I run a VPN. It makes me sign in all the time. Verify you're a human. They'll probably do it to me again before I ever even get to my store. Okay, so let's go to the Galleria. I call mine the Galleria. He calls his art. Okay, so the
I
reason
ain't no highfalutin like you.
the reason this one is rare, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know. Number one, let's see, it does have a little bit of damage on the frame. It was done in '83 by Howard Berger, and he didn't do too many. A lot. He did quite a few prints. But the reason this one's rare is because there's not that many prints of this one. Let me go to it. Why is it not letting me go see all details? All right, so this one here, what's the number on? I'm trying to find it. Is it going to give it to me? Okay, so first of all, this is a litho plate, which is different. It's offset litho plate. There is this same one in other. Okay, so here's one of the original ones, and it's just done on a piece of flat paper. It's $23.18. It is one of the original ones, but it's not a litho print. It's a standard print. It's the same Winter's Rest, but it's just not. It's not quite as valuable because this one here, done on that offset litho, and then the trying to find where it's numbered at. Maybe on the back somewhere. Anyway, what else can I say about it? It was done by him. He was an artist in Athens, Tennessee, born in 1915. He was the one that commissioned for the posters of the 1982 World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee. He's known for his farm work. So, in other words, he's known for his paintings of farm work. But he was actually here in Whispering Pines, North Carolina until 1995, where he passed away at. So, he's a well known local guy here in the area of the mountains and Tennessee. But the fact that it was done as an offset lithograph is part of what makes it so rare. And there wasn't that many done of this one, which is why it's called number 3 in this style. There wasn't that many done. And then the way it's framed. So you can tell if it's an offset lithograph, if it's one of the original ones, or if it's been reframed by the way it's framed. If you look here on this one, you were to bring it up, the Howard Berger Winter's Rest, the one that I've got on Frugal Deals, you see where it's rounded. So the original did not have any framing, matting, or framing with it. It was not framed from the gallery. It was framed. It may be framed somewhere else. but they this and then the number two usually came was a little smaller print, and it was a regular style print, and it has a square frame around it. All of the threes, if they were originally framed, have this round around them. Now you'll see on eBay every now and again somebody will say, "Oh, it's a lithograph plate three, same one," but you'll see it's got the square window. That is not. That's number two, and it is the least valuable. So I'm just letting you know that. That's probably way more information than anybody really wanted to know.
And the other item I saw was interesting was vintage West clock travel alarm clock, 1970s and 80s. Works, winds up, and go.
Yeah, I came across those in a lot. I don't even need to go to it because I know all about those. I grew up with my grandfather being a clock repairman, and I actually had one very similar to that, but it was in a green case that he gave me when I was a small boy so that I could have my own clock in my room. Now, that was not as rare or as nice as the one I just sold, which was a time mark made in Germany, but that is a great one. It's a throwback to the Route 66 days. And if you are going to plan a trip on Route 66, you need to buy one of these type of travel clocks to take with you because a lot of the motels along Route 66 do not. They don't do wake up calls, and they don't have alarm clocks in them because back in the days when Route 66 was there, everybody brought their own travel clock, and they will actually sell them along Route 66. I found this out by actually researching this a little bit. They actually will sell them along Route 66. So you don't have to take one where you can buy one, but this is an actual one that would have been potentially carried during those days. It is in great shape. It works. It winds up. The alarm goes off. The time runs. It does everything it's supposed to do, and it's just a good run of the mill travel clock. You can take it. You can buy it. Just take it with you and carry it as a travel clock if you want to. But if you like the nostalgia of it, then it's even great for that.
All right. You got. I need to get better at my descriptions. You need to set me up ahead of time so I can do some research because you seem to know more about your stuff you're selling. I'm just like, I don't know. I bought it. I'm selling it. Piss off.
See, but there's a difference too, and that's let me talk about that a little bit. Part of the reason is because the stuff that I sell, most of it is outside of ladies' clothes. I got those dropped off at my door. But the things that I have purchased and sourced to go in my store, it's not just something I'm buying for a dollar or two to have in an everything store. I'll look at it, do research on it, and go, is it a good buy? Am I interested in learning more about this? And if I am, then
I do too.
I do the research on it. So yeah, I know a lot about the items that are in my store and continuously, except for of course, the stuff that gets dropped off for me to sell, such as ladies' clothes. Although I know more about ladies' clothes than I ever cared to know. I know the difference between a blouse and a what is it? The blouse type top. I could go back into it. I'd have to go back and look at it. Maybe
Let
I'll
it go, man. Let it go.
thank
Quit
God.
talking.
What is it? Puff sleeves versus crop sleeves versus
Stop it. I'm going to have to get you a tampon.
flares, the flaring and all this. Oh my gosh. I learned a lot about it, so I could list it, but I've forgotten because I haven't listed ladies' clothes in forever. In fact, it's probably time to take all the ladies' clothes out of the store and take them to Goodwill. I'll make you a really good deal on it. I'd love to sell out of my ladies' clothes. In fact, if somebody wants to go, it's listening to this, wants to go there and make me an offer of, I don't know, $4 or $5 for everything, I might just take it. I might just take it. I'm talking about on the ladies' clothing, not on everything else. But if you sell ladies' clothing and you're listening to this and you want a good deal of sourcing, I will make you one. I got some boxes big enough to ship it all to you. I promise. So make me some offers. Anyway, what's next on our agenda?
Favorite comment of the week or favorite, yeah, feedback of the week.
Favorite feedback.
No, it doesn't have to be something you sold this week. It's just feedback you got this week. You're up to
uh,
62, so you must have got some feedback.
63.
Oh,
63.
sorry.
Yeah, don't be jipping me now, man.
Hmm.
63. All right. So let me go down here and get something from recent. Oh, I got to sign in. You go ahead with yours. I'll catch up.
No, you're supposed to go first. See, that's messing me up. Yeah. So feedback of the week. My favorite feedback was that one I read. That guy left me feedback, even though he got wiped out with the hurricane. But I got feedback from somebody else, and it was really a lot of times when you sell stuff and it gets damaged in shipping, they usually hold you accountable. But I had RAMAS 7476 had bought a Hot Wheels car from me. It was from like the 90s. It was a really old one. It was a Hot Wheels vintage ration Ed Terry number 4 1970s Mustang, 11 of 30 real riders. But UPS, his feedback was UPS destroyed the package, so I'm going to use that as an opener. Seller is great, not his fault. Very honest seller. Thanks.
Sweet.
And I talked to that guy back and forth. He said, "Hey," and he showed me pictures. It was just destroyed, and he could tell I put it because it was not the normal size. I didn't put it by 5 by 7 by 3. I actually got a bigger box and I put it in there because it wouldn't fit in there. It was wider than 5 inch. I put it in a nice big box. He's like, "Yeah, you tried." But it's looking like they run it over with a forklift. I can't believe the car was still good, but the car was fine.
Yeah.
So it's nice when something happens like that and they don't automatically
Yeah.
assume, oh,
They don't
something bad.
automatically jump down your throat.
Yeah.
My best feedback of the week, other than was, I would say probably here, well packed, just as described, fast shipping, good seller. And what makes this so interesting, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, is this right here. That was a steel die.
Yeah.
So, in other words, it is like an Irwin die that is a piece of cardboard with the item on the cardboard wrapped in plastic. I stuck it down a bubble mailer and sent it on its way. Pack, just to describe, fast shipping, good seller. It makes me chuckle because I'm like, that's not even how I didn't know how.
Well, you could have just put it in a poly bag with no bubbles. Bubble
Well,
barrel.
yeah,
Okay.
I put it in a bubble mailer. Why not? Let's just protect the die. It's not like it's going to get hurt, but it is great. It is, and it's wonderful feedback. It's 100% positive, and he left me good points. He actually got the survey, and actually, he's the one who brought up my because somebody had said my shipping cost wasn't reasonable, and he brought my shipping cost up to 44. But now somebody gave me a low point on communication, and I'm like, really?
I
Is
don't
it
know
because
anybody that communicates as well as you.
I know? I'm like, I
I
send
hope
you.
I don't sell to them.
Is it because I send you too many messages? You didn't like that? Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
it's like, just leave me alone.
Yeah. Just ship the item and shut up. Okay.
The way I feel.
But anyway, I'm down to a 43 in communication. Just what it is. Yeah.
You out of what? 44?
44. Yeah.
Perfectionist.
It is what it is. But yeah, that was my favorite one of the week. Was
Nice.
well packed, just as described, fast shipping, good seller. So
Okay, you ready for the next one?
yeah, what's the next
Sale of the week.
one? Wah, wah, wah. I will skip me on that one. I mean, I've already talked about it. Uh, Best sell of the week. Oh boy. I think we're copycatting some stuff just to stretch this out.
No, this is not copycat. It's sale of the week. Usually you have multiple things, right? So
Favorite sell of the week. I wonder who that would be. This
I
is,
know. I'm confused.
yeah, I'm not going to talk about mine again. Go ahead. What's your favorite sell of the week?
See, I usually ask you. That gives me a chance to look.
I will.
No,
You want me to talk about my one sell I had?
yeah, I had found this zebra printer. It was new in the box. I had put it up. Somebody offered me like, oh, cha-ching! There's my favorite sale of the
Oh,
week.
there's your favorite sell of the week. It just happened. Actually, that'll probably have to be for next week.
Okay, I won't use it because it's not that great. Offered me like 70% of what I had asked him, and they took it and shipped it out. So it's 300 of my $1,000 week. So it's 30% of my sales. So it's got to be my sale of the week.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Yeah, that's what happens when you got expensive items you can get rid of, ladies and gentlemen. everyone, if you've got high dollar items,
I debated using it, but you know what? The problem was my 14.95 when I bought that prints as fast as I need. The thing is that that thing would print 8 labels a minute. That's a lot. If I get to the point where I need 8 labels a minute to keep up with my shipping, I can afford the $400 printer.
I'm wiping mine off. Mine's gotten dusty. My brand new label printer. I did get a label
I know.
printer, ladies and gentlemen. I got a label printer. If I got
Very first thing, and think about this, everybody out there is listening. That's the first thing you should invest in.
no, not the first thing. It's not the first thing.
But once you're selling,
A
once you're
skill, a
selling,
skill is
you're up. I mean, you need a tape gun, a knife, and all the crap you need to start, some boxes. But once you're selling and you're starting to roll, the first thing you need to cut out is using paper labels. How much time did that save you in shipping?
oh my gosh.
It's
I was
crazy.
able to pack 4 times as fast. 4 times as fast, especially if you use bulk print label. Now it did take me a little bit longer to figure out once I hooked it up.
You both credit your one label.
But no, not the one label. I've had it for over a week. Bulk printage in one label.
If
Yeah,
you could both print,
yeah. What's crazy is the last ones I sold last week and the one I sold this week, because the way we break the show, I actually shipped out on Monday, which was Columbus Day. So yes, technically I bulk printed my one label. I bulk printed it with the last ones from Saturday because we run Sunday through Saturday. But I bulk printed it, yes, with the others. And it was awesome. I mean, it's like, because I was doing the paper labels, cut them out, and then pull the tape, tear it off, tape it down, and then have to rub the tape down the sides of the bubble mailer so it actually folds over and sticks and all this mess. And it's just a nightmare. This was, once I got it set up, print, tear it off, peel the label, stick it to it, and it was done.
yeah, no
I
cutting
mean,
it out.
yeah, no
And
cutting
it
it
prints
out.
faster than the printer's faster.
But I do have a really nice one. I spent like
I
80,
don't.
$80 on Prime for it.
I sold a pocket watch. I haven't been selling these pocket watches. I bought these from Timu. Just screwing around. Drinking and having ideas is usually not the best idea. But
That's what got you kicked off of Goodwill.
yeah, this has got me kicked off Goodwill. It happens. But I bought these pocket watches for $2.50 across. I have 55 pocket watches. Go check them out. Offer me $5 more. It's yours. They haven't been selling. But this week, when I went to relist them because they came up, it was been a month. I went ahead and upped the price 5% because I was in a hurry and I was like, oh, I got to change something. So I made everything 5% more. And I've sold 3 of them. That makes no sense. I was underpriced.
And that's the weirdest thing. If you're underpriced, it doesn't sell. If you're overpriced, it doesn't sell. You have to be just right. Like the freaking mama bear's or little baby bear's porridge. That's really. But anyway,
All right, buddy. What'd you learn this week?
that even if you have a lot of stinking impressions, it doesn't mean you're going to sell a gosh darn thing.
Give me an impression.
You know what I'm talking about. I can't believe I was up 63%. Did not sell a single. Actually, had down sales. I was like, really? That's crazy. But I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything new on
I
eBay.
learned nothing. I learned you can spend 14 hours in the garage and still only be a tenth of the way there. That's what I learned this week.
That's supposed to have too much stuff.
I know. I'm like, okay, move this here, move this there.
His wife.
And my wife came out there again today. She's like, "What are you doing? You watching TV out here?"
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, if something happens to Ben's, y'all are all out of luck because I'm going to be the first one to his house, and I promise you, his wife will give me everything there. She'll
She
just
will.
give it, she'll just give it to me if I clean it out.
Yeah. She'll
I
give you
mean,
a key to 3 storage units. All yours.
did you say 3?
2.
Oh, I thought you said 3. I was like, when'd you get another one? You, you can't be serious.
I only have 2.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going down there with a big box truck all the way to Tampa.
Now come down here and rent a U-Haul. Then we don't have to pay for it one way.
True. Fly down, Uber to the house. I'm here to get all this stuff. No, I don't want that stuff. I want the reselling stuff,
So yeah, come in
especially
here,
the
get these
thermal.
computers, get this scanner. You can start selling credit because you're going to need it. Because I got 400,000 freaking cards.
Baseball card.
They're everywhere. Yeah. The thing is, I was cleaning the garage, and the one thing I did yesterday was what I learned was organize your boxes. Really, that's what I learned this week because I have reordered 8 by 6 by 4 boxes. I use a lot of them for hats or what, and they fit a lot of
Mhm.
things. And I had just reordered them again because I was out. But you know what I found? 3 boxes that I never opened of these boxes. So I have 200 and probably 300 of those boxes that I'm set. I have enough boxes, and then I had to order more boxes for my artwork. I need a warehouse for my boxes. Get organized. You're better off.
I'm gonna be chunking a bunch of mine in a dumpster this week, bunch of boxes, because I way over ordered priority. I still haven't taken care of that problem.
You know what's good? They're good for. I
Starting
took my
fires
big
in a
box,
wood stove.
and then I took the smaller paintings, and I put them in a box, and then I put a priority mailbox, and then the next painting, so they don't touch. The problem is with the bigger ones. Now I'm using my 24 by, and I need something to put in between them, and I don't want to. I don't have.
I would
I
just go
cleaned the
ahead and
garage,
box.
so I
I
took
would go
all
ahead
the
and
big
box
boxes that were laying around and chopped them up and threw them out because I don't need these big boxes. Now I need them to put in between there, so I'm using all my big shipping boxes.
and box them and label them.
Yeah, you got room for that?
I
I'm
mean,
trying to get it off the floor.
if you're
So I
racking
have
them, go ahead and.
yeah, but I got 8 artworks. I would end up only getting because I put them in a 6-inch box.
I
You
got
don't
you.
understand. You don't understand the immensity of the amount of artwork I have in the garage. I'm going through it, going, why did I even buy this? This is a cheap Chinese thing. Throw it out. I thought I bought a bunch of artwork, but I bought a bunch of medals. Somebody won in fencing. I don't even remember buying them. There's 6 medals in
You
fencing.
were into buying metals there for a while because some of them
Yeah.
you bought some in a lot and they sold, and so you bought a bunch more, and then you've never listed them. They might have sold.
I'm not listening to that. The thing, it's got like the neck thing. Like it's like that thing has 4 medals in it, and it's 48 inches by 32.
Folks,
The shipping on that would be
we're just
insane.
gonna drive down there before trash day and go out and get through his trash because he's probably throwing out now. He's throwing out items. I'm not gonna list this. I'm not gonna list.
I set a bunch of stuff out front. People were taking it. I was like, just take it. And then my old computer chair was in the garage. I'm like, I don't need this. I have my nice computer chair that I got when I left work because it's a big man's chair that they bought specifically for me. My boss said I can have it, and it is wonderful. It's much better than the old chair I used to sit in that I bought for $39 on eBay. I had that out front. I was like, "You getting rid of that chair? Why are you getting rid of that chair?" I'm like, "Because we got my chair in the office, your chair in your office, and there's an extra chair in the bedroom. Do we need a fourth chair?" She's like, "Oh no, get rid of it." Yeah, no shit. It's taking up space.
She's
Chair
just
takes up a lot of space.
she's just shocked that you're actually letting go of something. But anyway, what's our next category? Because I'm about out of drink.
I'm out of drink. The next that's it. We've got all through them except for eBay news.
eBay news. Let's have. We got any eBay news?
We do have some news today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. That's last week's news, so I can't read that.
No, we don't want to regurgitate last week's news. Come on now.
So there was a eBay intermittently charging for revising listings. It's been a problem that has happened since 2008 that people are talking about. So this gentleman went to relist his item, got charged 35 cents for changing the pictures. So make sure
Huh.
that if you are check your invoices because he was charging an inserting fee for editing.
Isn't that just like something? Man, that's just. So far, I've not had any mistakes like that. Knock on wood. I'm glad because they would freak me out. I'd be like, "What do I need to do?" Yeah, I'm. You read about this stuff, glitches and stuff, and I'm sure it'll happen. Most of the time, the glitch I get is where it like all of a sudden locks up and won't let you in. It's eBay will be back soon. eBay will be back soon. And you're like, you need to list
Yeah.
late at night. You're like, ah, forget it. I just won't list today. Because I've gotten that one quite a bit, but Some of these other glitches they're talking about, I've been looking for them and trying to make sure that I keep abreast of them. That's definitely one of them. You want to make sure you're not getting charged an insertion fee or editing fee on an item you've already listed.
No doubt, especially if you're just revising the pictures.
Yeah.
So just check your invoices, make sure you're not being charged. Apparently, it's been a problem since 2008. So it just, there's a lot of things when you start reading more about eBay that they fix it and then it happens again. So you just be cognizant of what you're paying. One of the things, I consume a lot of podcasts and love them. But this week on Trash to Cash, and then again on the reseller, what was it? It used to be, it was the one that had the best name ever, which was Pocket Change, but now they became the reseller leftovers. Now there's six guys that are full-time resellers, and they're all confused about whether or not they need what store level and what the benefits are. So they're like, "Hey, we should probably get rid. We're paying for the stepped up $59 if you pay for the year, or $79, 70 whatever dollars if you don't." I just had to go to that because I got an insertion fee showed up once I got to 3,000 items. And they're like, "How can you have Carrie from Trash Cash? I got 5,000 items." But he's selling a lot of cards. Cards are part of the 10,000 free.
Mm-hmm.
You get 1,000 with the basic store. You get 1,000 free listings plus 10,000 extra. The 10,000 extra I took advantage of because I know that's media, it's cards, and the things that fall into that you don't have to pay for. So I was up to over 2,000. I was like 2,200, and I was waiting until I had to go to the next level, but I didn't until it asked me for an insertion fee. So understand your processes. That if you are at the basic level, you get 1,000 listings. And that 1,000 listings includes the re-listings. That's a
Mm-hmm.
1,000
Yep.
total. They were thinking, oh, maybe it's because you get 1,000 free a month. They don't understand why they're not paying it. It's because they have a bunch of stuff that's falling into that free zone.
Yeah.
So or two of them that were paying for the bigger one are like, oh, maybe I should reverse it. But you might reverse it, and now you had 2,000 and thought you were going to get these free ones, and you don't. And you're going to have to pay 30 cents per item.
I don't
So
think eBay will let you reverse it till you renew for the year.
you can, but you have to pay. You guarantee them X number of dollars. You have to pay a percentage of that. But regardless, you would think that if you're selling on a reselling podcast, you would understand at least the basics of how the stores work. I've gone up to the next one, which gives me 10,000 items I can sell, plus 50,000 free. The 50,000 free is my media and my, and
And
it is
you and I,
some collectibles. I go in there a lot trying to figure out exactly what it is. You can click on a button, it'll show you all the item numbers that are affiliated with the free. It doesn't do a good job of explaining to you what is actually free. But I
right?
know cards, I know that media, and I've had some collectibles that go under the free. I don't use the 250. I don't know what the new one is because I don't ever do auctions. Every time I went to do an auction, it cost me something. I'm not paying
Well,
25 cents to do an auction.
here's something you pay attention to because okay, so you and I figured up one time, but you can go over the exertion fees a little bit. Okay, like me, I'm still on the starter. I can go up to 300 and what was that 310 items before it actually
Yeah,
makes sense for me to
pay for this
pay
next
for the
store.
next store up because of the jump from 4.95 a month to
Yep.
it's like what 25 24.95 something like that.
If you do it for the year, it's $22.
Yeah, so it makes more sense for me to stay until I would get to the 300s plus items. So you can figure it up that way based on insertion fees and the difference. Now, once you get to the thousand, but there's one thing you need to pay attention to. The other, yeah, you definitely need to pay attention because here's one thing I want to stress here. A lot of people have figured this out and they are listing items. That's why you'll go to look up DVDs. DVD is one of the free items and you'll look up like DVD, and in the category with DVD will be some stupid item that makes no sense with a DVD,
Yeah.
and it's just there. And you go look at the category and it says it should be a DVD. If they catch you on that, they will. There is punishments they will dole out to you. So don't think that you're going to use up the free item, the free media on some weird item that you can do that. You might get by with it. You better hope it sells quick and that they don't backtrack on it,
Yeah.
because they'll get you for it. And there's no doubt about it. So there's a couple things to think about when you're talking about this kind of thing. Here is it is astonishing that some guys don't understand it, but it's really not that hard. Go look at what store level you've got, what you get with it, and break it down. It's that easy.
Yeah.
If you got VHS, if you got cassette tapes, if you got DVD, if it's media, baseball cards is another thing. I don't think they charge you insertion fees on those, do they?
No, they're free. That's
So
that. I put 1,000 of them in there because, and that's why I bought a bunch more because now I have 50,000 I can put in there. But I haven't had time to stop and do that again. I've been busy this week listing artwork and redoing my garage. Artwork's much harder to list than the stuff I've been listing, so it takes a little more time, a little more pictures. I'm using all 24 of the pictures. I'm going to make sure they see the whole frame because I don't want anybody coming back on me. All right, so the next thing is, what if eBay used AI to weed out bad buyers, right?
mm,
So they got rid of our ability to leave feedback for buyers a while back, before I was even on here. So the platform tracks everybody's buying and their behavior, and they want to take this information about all the people that have been buying and selling on eBay and feed it into the artificial intelligence to identify and ban problematic buyers. This has been announced in initiatives in 2022, but it still hasn't gotten there. But is that a good idea or not?
what defines a bad buyer?
Exactly. And the way their freaking artificial intelligence doesn't
Oh
seem to be
yeah,
very intelligent.
it's not.
It concerns me that it's something they're talking about again.
Their artificial intelligence is like a frog. Ribbit,
No,
ribbit.
it's my
I
other
mean,
brother Daryl. It's the one that never speaks.
it, it is so stupid. That's part of the reason why our pick and pass, I do believe our pick and pass seems to be way off, because you'll search for an item, you'll say, here's two of them that sold, and that's all that sold, and you look below and say five or six other items. But these are similar. No, they're the same stinking item.
You have the ability to report bad buyers to eBay, but looking at this article, it's very discouraging that they don't do anything to these bad buyers. Maybe it would be effective if they let A manage the bad buyers.
But again, what
Yeah,
defines
a bad buyer. Like
somebody
that
doesn't?
guy who bought me last week, he offered me $5 on 6 different things and then he never paid. That to me is a bad buyer.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
But
that.
eBay identifying that and taking care of it by making everybody put in a credit card, but they seem to be slow to the market on that. So who knows?
I guess my thing is you'd have to really define what a bad buyer is.
I think so.
Because to me, a bad buyer could be somebody who, like you said, doesn't pay. To somebody else, a bad buyer could be somebody who accepts an offer and doesn't, then waits the full time, or somebody who sends you an email address or sends you a message that says, "Can you ship it somewhere else?" There's so many parameters you could use to define bad buyers. Somebody who gets on, we're going to say somebody who gets on for 3 weeks and never does anything, just looks at stuff and then never buys. Is that a bad buyer? Because they didn't buy anything. They're just
But
looking.
how many of us would be in that bad buyer list?
Right.
Because how often do you do that? I
Right.
go in there and look at all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it. And how many times you get a freaking offer? I don't understand. Like I have an item that'll pop up in my send offers to buyers list, but it'll have nobody watching it. There'll be like 10 people that saw it, and then you hit the button and it says, "Oh, it's not available."
Zero interested buyers. I'm like, what?
Exactly.
That's been happening a lot here lately.
Yeah.
Send eligible
But how many
offer.
times do you get every time? I do a lot of research and I'm on there trying to figure out what stuff costs,
Mhm.
and I get dinged with all these offers that I have no intention of buying because I'm just trying to sell the same thing.
Right.
No,
I mean, I don't know. I think with how wonky eBay's AI is, I think the last thing we need to do is feed into it any
yeah,
metrics that are going to ban buyers or
I
sellers.
agree.
Because the next step will be banning sellers. I
I know that doesn't make any sense, but I do have some Bonanza news. Woohoo! How often do you hear Bonanza come up in the
All
news?
right, make this the last one. I gotta jump off here and spend some family time. All right, Bonanza, last one.
One more after this. Bonanza will remove seller's shipping fee. So if you sell on Bonanza, there's a $2 fee for buying your shipping label on the platform. So starting November 2024, the decision is that they will eliminate that $2 fee so people will buy their shipping from them instead of going to Pirate Ship or other places.
Okay,
The change aligns with broader trend among online marketplaces to try to eliminate or lower selling fees.
okay.
The CEO, Quincy Faison, Faison, expressed gratitude to sellers for their support. All right, good
I'm gonna
deal.
go over to Bonanza now just because they express gratitude.
I know.
eBay's like, we don't care if you're here or not.
All right, the last one I got, I want to put in there. It was an interesting article about Facebook local tab to include marketplace listings. So they're going to start taking the local tab that people are going to see what's going on in their local area and add the marketplace listings alongside the content for local groups and events. That's cool because then they'll see things that are in their specific area that are for sale, and maybe it'll help sell more on Facebook Marketplace. When it first started, I thought that might be something. I've listed stuff there, sold a few things, but it's pretty much a waste of time. Um, two
It's a
months, three
high
months later,
price yard sale, is
yeah.
what it is.
But nearly 1.8 million monthly users of Facebook groups use that tab. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, but you see all the time the TikToks. Is it still available? Yeah, it's still available.
Exactly. That's what yeah. And you don't get this is still available until it's 2.5 months old.
It's crazy. I don't do anything on. I know several people, several resellers in my local area who are marketplace resellers. I'm like, God bless you. I couldn't put up with the people asking me, "Is it available?" all the stinking time. Like,
Just buy it.
if it's
If
still
it's there.
listed, if it's still listed, it's still available. Does it run? It doesn't say in the ad. I get mad when people ask me. This one lady, bless her heart, this past week,
Bless
she
her heart.
she goes, yeah, bless her heart. She goes, "Does this work?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Says in description, runs. Does this work?
She thought if you were a jogger, maybe.
I don't know, but
Uh,
so I just replied yes. She goes, cool.
that was it.
No, then I get a message about. I click off of it, go back to playing my game. Get a message. So, is the color accurate? Yeah, it's gold tone. Uh, could you tell me how big it is?
It's measured.
It has a ruler picture on it. Like,
Some people, they you know
open
what?
open the ad and look at it. I get so tired of people who are thumbing through. And apparently, eBay has started this thing now, and I want to go check it. But apparently, when you're thumbing through on your phone, it has an automatic contact or ask a question. They don't even have to open the ad anymore. So it's
They're trying
if
to
you're
help you sell,
but
man.
if you're
Yeah.
interested in it, open it because you sound stupid asking questions that have already been answered by the pictures and the description,
Yeah. I mean,
and you're wasting my time. And I'm sorry.
you're a
Rather,
busy man.
I would rather send you some of those shipping bubbles so you can suck the air out of it because that's about what you're worth to me. If you're asking me questions that I've already answered, if you'll just open the ad. I don't even want to sell to you if you're stupid. If you're that stupid, I don't want to sell anything to you except a body bag. You're wasting oxygen the rest of us need to breathe.
I got a case of body bags in the garage I found.
You would have
I got a
looked
case of body bag. I don't even know where they came from. I'm not sure where I got them, but they are body bags.
he's
So if you need a body bag, I got a case, 24 of them.
everything. He's got he's a little bit of everything. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I'm not exactly sure where they came from, but I got
Probably in a
24.
lot that you
Yeah,
bought.
they must have been because
I
I
mean,
was like, "What is this?"
but
And I opened it up, and then
back to my thing.
they're
Please,
stamped human remains.
please, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end up sending, because we won't do it on this podcast because we're a PMA podcast. We're positive mental attitude. But we're going to start sending our stupid people of the week over to one of the other podcasts so they can say over on the pocket change, and these guys won't talk about it. This was their stupid seller of the week or stupid buyer of the week, not stupid seller, but stupid buyer of the week. Because here's the thing again, if you're interested in an item, and I know why people are starting to do it because eBay will hound the crap out of you if you click on an item. So if you didn't
Mm-hmm.
send a question, I guess it doesn't. Maybe I don't know, but just if you're interested, just open the item. But of course, everybody listening here is probably a reseller. Of course, we didn't know. There's one guy. We've came across one guy. He bought something from me, and I think he ended up buying something from you. I don't know because he told me that he listened to our podcast. And
He bought the Funko Pop from you. I forget what he bought.
yeah,
That's cool. And if you're
yeah,
listening, buy something else because I'm trying to support
yeah.
myself.
Hey, and
Please.
if you want my last Funko Pop, I'll make you a real deal on it.
But beyond that, I don't know what I was going to say. It's fine.
I did learn one thing though on some of the chains and stuff that I sell, the jewelry chains or whatever. I moved the picture because I had it really nice pictures to start with, and I've gotten a lot less questions on that since I moved the ruler pictures to the
I
actual.
noticed that when I was looking at your thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Ruler
I got a
picture
lot
front.
less questions because apparently that's the thing is, oh, how long is it?
I did the same thing on my dating profile. Don't tell my wife.
That you
All right. On that note, thank you guys for listening. It's been a wonderful, fun time. Stay out of trouble. We'll talk to you next week.
have.
See ya.
Yeah.
Say
Bye.
goodbye.